Alright, I'm back, and here's my card review for Druid. So, Druid got what I would say two super powerful cards. Two really powerful, like I would say three really powerful cards. It just got a lot of good stuff this set. Like, I don't think there's, like, outside Guardian Animals, and that's an epic. I don't think they got Lightning Bloom. Those are like the only two bad cards they got. So, the problem with Druid is that Druid really does not have hard removals, and they don't have hard removals in this set. So if they're playing a control meta, then they're not going to really be able to play that meta. So how's Druid going to win then? Well, you could always do the Druid where you just spam a bunch of stuff on the board, then play Savage Roar, Power of the Wild, and win off of burst damage. And, well, the set, it has stuff that synergizes with that. It has Runic Carvings, 4 2/2s on the board with a 2/2 Treants. It has Adorable Infestation, which buffs stuff and puts stuff on the board and gives you stuff in hand. It has Nature Studies, which works to find one of those just win the game now cards, which become really powerful. So that's number one. Number two is you just completely outvalue your opponent, which Twilight Runner, which I'll go over. This is one of those 6-star cards from the set. Number three is you just bullshit a win condition, and that's Survival of the Fittest. So Survival of the Fittest, this is going to be like this set's Embiggen, where if you play this card and you do not die in 2 turns, then you probably just win the game. If you play this card and you do not die within the next 2 turns, you win the game. If you play Embiggen on 0 and you hit your curve, you just win the game. That's just what happens. And on top of that, they got a lot of taunts. They got a lot of defensive tools. They got 2 4/5 taunts, a 4-mana 4/5 taunt, which is really good, and a 5-mana 4/5 taunt, which gives them a beat. So overall, Druid, really good set. And the only thing holding them back is that they just don't have the hard removal that other classes have, which I think is going to hinder them later on. All right, going over the cards they have. First one, Gibberling. Okay, I love Feral Gibberer. I was the person way before anyone else who said Feral Gibberer was a good card, and I got proven right on that. So I'm excited that the Gibberling is back because I think like Feral Gibberer holds a special place in my heart. So Gibberling, Spell Burst, summon a Gibberling. So as someone else pointed out, what you can do is, I want to say, was it Boozer or Dreads? One of them. I was watching their review. Like, their review doesn't impact mine. But what you do, you take Gibberling, you coin. Maybe it was Trump, actually. All right, so the combo. And you only need 2 cards for this. You have the coin. You're going second. Play Gibberling. Coin. You summon a second Gibberling with Spellburst. You play Adorable Infestation on one of your Gibberlings. You summon a third Gibberling with Spellburst. So, and then you summon a 1/1 Cub. So now you've got 3 Gibberlings. You got a 2/2. One of those Gibberlings is 2/2, and you've got a 1/1 Cub on the board. So turn 1, you can have, just with a simple 2-turn combo, a 5/5 worth of stats on the board with a Gibberling that has Spell Burst that will give you more stats. That is going to happen a lot more than you think, because both of these cards are really good. Both of these cards have set bonuses. And both of these cards have set bonuses. So Gibberling by itself, not great if you don't have spells, but there's actually a very similar card to this, and that card is Violet Teacher. Violet Teacher is a card that's always been in the set. It's a 3-mana 4/5 card. 4-mana 3/5 card. There, got it right. Where whenever you play a spell, summon a 1/1 minion. And this is basically the same thing. It's a 1-mana 1/1, play a spell, summon a 1/1. And then you keep playing spells, and then the 1/1 that has Spell Burst will summon another 1/1 on its own. So I think Gibberling is actually very, like, even though it's kind of like situational, there's going to be enough situations where it goes off between the Spell Burst and between just chaining a bunch of spells and getting an instant board that you buff off with Power of the Wild, that this is going to be a really powerful card that if you don't take care of the Spell Burst, Gibberling will just like win games on its own. So ultimately, like, I'm giving a 1-mana 1/1. I'm saying it's a low 3-star card. Like, I would take this. I would go for decks for this. I would go for decks where I combo it with Adorable Infestation. Give a minion 1/1. Add summon a 1/1 cub. Add a cub to your hand. I'm irrationally upset that this does not restore 1 health to your hero. You see, the cub, it's so cute. It's so cute, and it's in the book. Oh my god, it's so adorable. Okay, it's adorable. All right. Point being, me marking out over being adorable aside, this is like, it's not a 1-drop, and because of that, that hinders it, and that's why I only have it like as a high 3-star card. But you get 2/2 worth of initial value, and you get something in your hand, and you're Druid, so that's something in your hand you can probably buff and get even more out of it. So yeah, Adorable Infestation, high 3-star card, really good card. Lightning Boom. Gain 2 mana crystals this turn only, overload 2. This is the old Innervate, except that it's a lot worse because it overloads you for 2. The old Innervate, there was a time when it actually became a little bit useful depending on the deck you had, and it would be a lot more useful in this set, or like in the sets now that have like the really powerful big creatures. But yeah, don't take this card. The overload, especially early on, the overload is really bad. This is like a very, very, very low 2-star card, probably a 1-star card. Like, there's enough big stuff where if you get it out that it might actually be worth it for that. But in general, yeah, just don't take it. Finally, Nature Studies. Discover a spell. Your next one costs 1 less. So, Primordial Glyph was a thing. We all know how good Primordial Glyph was. That was a high 4-star card. Nature Studies is a 1-mana Primordial Glyph, which is a little bit different because it says discover a spell, your next one costs 1 less. That means next spell. So unlike Primordial Glyph, where you could play Primordial Glyph on 2 and then get a Flame Strike or Fire Lands on turn 5, because this triggers on your next spell, then that spell is going to be the one that's going to have the discount. So your bigger spells, like your Overflow, if you can get it for 6, then that might be a decent card in Arena. As it is, you're going to cast another spell before you cast Overflow, so I think that kind of limits it. Okay, point being, this is a 4-star card. Take it. It's going to be really, really powerful, and then it works in like any set, any style that you want to play. We go here, rare. Partner assignment, add a random 2 and 3 cost beast to your hand. So you play this on 1 and then you get a curve. Or you play Gibberling, Coin, Partner assignment, you get 3 1/1s on the board, and then you have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. 3-drop beasts are decent, but there's enough that are kind of things you don't want to play on 3. 2-drop beasts, for the most part, are very good. So yeah, good card. This is going to be probably a high 3-star card. I think in the late game it becomes weak enough that you kind of don't want to play it. But again, like 1 mana, get 2 cards. I think it's a high 3-star card. I don't think it does enough by itself, but good card. Twilight Runner, Stealth. Whenever this attacks, draw 2 cards. 6-star card. Extremely easy. This card, Ancient of Lore. This is another card that previously it was so good that it got nerfed, and is still nerfed. It used to be 5 mana 5/5, a 7 mana 5/5, Battlecry, draw 2 cards. This is a 5 mana 5/4 with Stealth, which is a lot better than a 5/5. When this attacks, draw 2 cards. Ancient of Lore, you weren't using those cards on the turn you played them anyways, so this is basically the same thing. And it's a repeatable effect. If you do not kill this, or if you are able to protect this, then you get 2 cards. This is just like an absolutely busted card. This is Marsh Hydra levels of power. This is Winged Guardian levels of power. Like, this is Oasis Surger levels of power. This is Swipe levels of power. This is like super premium card, 6-star. Always take this card unless it's like against a very Emerald Explorer levels of power. Just like super premium card. Always take this. Teacher's Pet. 5 mana 4/5 taunt, death rattle, summon a random 3 cost beasts. We've seen from what is it? Anyone who's watched Constructed has seen the card. The 7 mana 5/8, when you cast spell, summon a random 3-drop beast. So you know how good 3-drop beasts can be from that. Like Stable Master or something. I'm not sure. Name's slipping me at the moment. Okay. Point B. That's number 1. Number 2. 5 mana 4/5 taunt. Death rattle, summon something. We had previously Sludge Belcher. 5 mana, 3/5 taunt, Death Rattle, summon a 1/2 taunt. Now, with Sludge Belcher, because it was double taunt, that made it a lot better than the sum of its parts. So even though Teacher's Pet has a 4/5, like if it was a 4/5 summon a 1/2 body, I would still take the Sludge Belcher. But most beasts are going to be 2 mana, are going to be like 2/2 or 3/2 or something like that. So I'd say this is, as a class card, a lot better than a Sludge Belcher. I think this is an easy 4-star card. All right, next one. Speaking of 4-star cards, 4 mana, 4/5 taunt. That's 4 stars on its own. Battlecry. If you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, restore 5 health. We know this doesn't go off that much. I don't care. It's a 4 mana, 4/5 taunt. That's a 4-star card. Period. Like, that kills pretty much, effectively every single 3-drop in the game gets killed by this. Like the Battlecry, it's just like a bonus. I don't care about that. 4 mana, 4/5 taunt, 4 stars. All right. Epic. Guardian Animals. Summon 2 beasts that cost 5 or less from your deck. Give them Rush. This is not going to work in Arena. I know that the set gave you the Teacher's Pet, which is a beast, and it works very well with that. But in Arena, it gave you Teacher's Pet and it gave you Twilight Runner. It's meant to work with that in Constructed. In Arena, I don't think that's reliable enough to happen, and you're going to draft cheap beasts anyways, which you don't what's the I'm trying to think here. Hawksteed, the 2 mana 2/1 beast that has Rush. Like, for 2 mana, that's really good. Out of this card, not really good. Okay, I'm reading the flavor text. Students may also bring an Iron Beak out or an Alley Cat or a Toad. They never said how big. All right, so point being, this is not going to work enough in Arena, or most of the time it's not going to work. So this is like a borderline 1-star, 2-star card. Like, bad card you don't want to take. Survival of the Fittest. 10 mana, give +4/+4 to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. If you get 2 things on the battlefield, then this card is worth it without the bonus effect. Like, if you have 2 things on the battlefield, and that's not all that hard to get, this is worth it without the effect. Even with 1 thing, this is probably worth it with the effect. So as long as you can get a single thing to stick, this is going to be a really powerful card. And as I said before, like, +4/+4 to every single minion in your deck is just completely insane. So sometimes so yeah, it's not 6 stars just because it is high cost and it is a little bit situational. Like, it's not something that's always great or is going to bail you out. But yeah, this is a really high 5-star card. I think this is, it has, in the right situation, it's better than the Ultimate Infestation. Like, that's how good it is. It's not as reliable, but it's still really, really, really good. Runic Carvings. Choose 1. Summon 4 2/2 Treant Totems, or Overload 2 to summon them with Rush. So 8 mana for 8 damage and 4/4 Rush. That's not exactly that good. I made the mention here. Swarm of Locusts, for example, in Hunter. That's 6 mana for 7 1/1 rushers. And that's a good card, but this is worse than that. Force of Nature. This is a better Force of Nature, but Force of Nature is only like a decent card. So ultimately, this is a 3-star card for me. I think, like, it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. 3-star is still good. You still want 3-star cards, but there's just a lot better cards out there than this. All right. Finally, to the legendaries. Forest Warden Omu. 6 mana, 5/4 spell burst, refresh your mana crystals. I compare this card to Khun the Unchained, which was from MSG, which was a 10 mana 7/7 battle cry, refresh your mana crystals, or gain 10 armor, or something like that. So with this, you're going to have spells to chain with this. So you're getting a 0 mana 5/4 plus whatever your spell is, plus whatever you can play from hand. Khun itself was basic. It should have been a lot better, but it ended up being only like about a 3-star to 4-star card. And so I think that's going to end up being the same thing here. Like, Omu is going to be like a high 3, low 4-star card. A good card, like, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be something that's just going to be like you play this and you win the game instantly. You need stuff to play with this to make it work. Speaker Gildra, on the other hand, 3 mana, Rush, Wind Fury, spell where gain attack and health equal to the spell's cost. 3 mana with Rush and Wind Fury, 1/4 is fine, probably a 2-star card. Like, you can combo this with stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Druids have spells that cost 5 mana. They have spells that cost 6 mana that you can combo this. This plus Swipe is really good. This plus any like random 3 mana spell is really good. Like, I think if you play it with a 1 mana spell, that's not great. Like a 2/5 Rush, Wind Fury, I mean, that's still good. But it's going to be easy enough to get the spell burst off, and the spell burst can help it just completely blow out your opponents. So yeah, I think that this is a 5-star card. Finally, last one. Shando Windclaw. Give your beast in your deck 1/1/1 or transform into a copy of a friendly beast. You're not going to have enough beasts in your deck to really justify the effect unless you have the 5. The transform into a copy of a friendly beast does matter because you got the runner, the 5/4 stealth, and that's really powerful. And you got Pack, the teacher's pet. So it does have targets, which when I initially rated it, I did not consider those targets. So I'm going to actually adjust it up for those targets. But it's still like a borderline 2-star to 3-star card. Like, I think it's a 3/3 most of the time. Sometimes it's going to be really good, but it's borderline 2 to 3-star card. So overall, Druid. Druid has a lot of really, really high quality cards. The problem is that the set is probably not going to be, like, the meta is probably not going to be in Druid's favor. So Druid's going to have to hope that they can get the right deck, that they can get a deck of tokens that they can buff, or that they can get a deck with Survival of the Fittest where they can just win the game off that, or they get a deck with a bunch of Twilight Runners where you can just completely outvalue, or Teacher's Pet where you just completely outvalue your opponent. Right. Next class up is going to be Hunter, so I will see you guys then.